G'day, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. What a wild week so far. That is the NFL. The Colts won, the Texans, they snuck away, and one of the craziest games I ever woke up to was the Miami Dolphins won 70 to 20. They won by 50 points. But we are here to talk about this news that is Matt Canada. Now, there's a rumor going out there. Sources, the Steelers are moving offensive coordinator Matt Canada to a more prominent role working with quarterback Kenny Pickett. Canada will continue calling plays, but also be working directly with Pickett on a daily basis, right? 51-year-old was hired in 2020 as quarterback's coach, then promoted to the OC in 2021 season. We all know that what happened then. It's been 3 years. Pittsburgh believes in Canada, and they anticipate making a big difference, right? But what does this mean? We're going to go to your comments. I put a community post out on this channel. We're going to go through your comments at the very end. And before I do that, and before I give you my opinion, I'll give you my opinion as I go. But my very last opinion on this matter will be right at the end, right? But let's go to some of the comments I found on Twitter, trying to figure out what this means exactly. It's kind of odd. It's kind of odd to me. So Matt Canada is apparently a rumor from Schulte. Says prominent role with working with Kenny Pickett. So what does that mean, right? Working one-on-one, stuff like that. Now, I went around Twitter. Alan Saunders, who's a bloke over there in Pittsburgh, says Steelers quarterback coach Mike Sullivan has been an NFL OC, often the assistant to Glenn Thomas, has been a college OC. One of them running offense at practice, so Canada can be more hands-on with Pickett is plausible. So do we see those guys mixing around roles and Canada stepping away from the play calling? Could that be a chance? Andrew Filippono says, so the Steelers quarterback coach get fired? Sounds like Canada is doing that job too. Did that happen? I don't know if he's getting fired, which is Mike Sullivan. Is he losing his role, or is Canada just stepping in? Do you know what I mean? This does seem a bit odd. And by the way, it is a rumor, so we have to keep things. It's not coming from a Steelers source. It's coming from sources. Because if anything, it could be this. It could be AB. AB is apparently meant to be Steelers OC to the rescue. AB is chiming in. We had as well a few others. Kevin Adams, a Pittsburgh guy who has a podcast too, out there in Yinzer Nation, he says, "Lol, what the F, man? Only team in the league that rewards failure was so blank backwards anymore. It makes me sick." Adam Crowley says, what does this even mean? Was he not working directly with Pickett before? That's kind of my question. It says here in this rumor from Jordan that Canada will continue calling plays, but working directly with Pickett. That's kind of what I want to focus on. Shouldn't the OC be actually working with Pickett anyway? Isn't that kind of his job to do that? That's why I'm taking this with a bit of a grain of salt and actually having a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun with it, because we don't know what this rumor even entails, even if it is true, or what the backstory behind it is. Because when Adam Crowley says this, what does this even mean? Was he not working directly with Pickett before, right? But does that mean there's now more responsibility? And if the offense does struggle, then really the only person to blame would be MC, but the whole offense needs to get better? I don't know. Let's go through a few more, and I'll show you guys some of your comments near the end. Neil Coolong, too, from the New Standard podcast with Lance says, allow me to offer a different perspective. Nowhere in the report or in the rumor was the word promotion used. That's on you as you take it. I agree with that. Nowhere in this thing it says here there is no promotion. There are other YouTube channels out there, other places out there calling it a promotion. So there's the language is being twisted, turned, as it happens in NFL media and Pittsburgh Steelers media. We've learned that throughout the last year or 2 years. Well, I've learned that from covering it. Nowhere in the tweets and this kind of stuff, there's been a thing called a promotion. It's a more prominent role is not a promotion. It just means that they'll be working together, says here directly, right? So I kind of agree with what Neil's saying. Number one, take that as it is. Number two, work more close with the QB could very well mean you created this train wreck. You need to get in there on ground level and clean it up, right? I kind of understand that too. This is your problem. You stuffed up. Accountability. Go fix it. So work with Kenny more than you already do. And maybe he didn't work with Kenny. I don't know, right? Now, speaking of ground level, Alex Kazoris from Steelers Depot says if there's a change the Steelers should think about making, it's getting Matt Canada out of the booth, which I agree, by the way. I know that's what he prefers, but if you truly want him working closely with your QB, put him on the field on game day instead of having the playing a literal game of over the telephone. I agree 1000%. If you want this offense to get better, start working and start clicking and firing on all cylinders, work together on the ground level, which is backed up by what Neil said, right? Work more closely with the quarterback could mean fix a train wreck and get it done on the ground level. Now, here's the fun part. Let's find out what you guys said in Steeler Nation on Steelers Nation Australia. All right, let me bring this up. So I will try and zoom in as best I can. 1, 2, 3. That will do. Let me see. Yeah, I'll read it out anyway. Okay, so we had some thoughts here from Brendan. It says, fire Matt Canada, fire emojis, right? I hear that. We have Michael O'Malley says, hopefully it means this is the first step to fire him. He was a blank coordinator in college. Now he's a blank coordinator in the NFL. Whoever hired him and kept him around should also be fired 100%. I wonder who that was, drawing a blank. Now that conversation goes on to talk about Tomlin. Brian says whole franchise needs an overhaul. People in charge are throwaways. The other franchise have now greatly improved. 100% agree. AR2 has failed Steeler Nation, so has Tomlin. And that goes on and on and on and on. Now, the next one we have Brian says, just when you think he couldn't screw up anymore, he gets a more opportunity to do so. We also have William here says, if the quarterback and this guy don't get along, we have a frustrated quarterback playing the game. We don't want this. Can't play if your frustration is above the norm. Quarterback is is important to be happy. Let the players call the plays. That would be the best way to go about it. You know, they're the ones what's going on. Jake says here, it can't get any worse than now. I agree with that. And then someone says here, Baxter Boy says, let's promote the coach. Devil says here, this is now all on Canada improved or to get canned, hoping for the best. Steeler Girl says, this may be a way to actually demote him nicely. He'll soon not be calling the plays. And Nancy says here, promote incompetent coordinator. What's out there? Staff. What's the staff doing their jobs? Tom needs to separate himself in Canada or be prepared to go down with him. Kenny needs a mentor who knows the game. And Argugo says, did you see the Broncos game? Yes, I did see the Broncos game. That was crazy, 70-20. Now, here's my final thoughts. I'm not taking too much into this. Not at all, right? It is based off one source. But it is quite interesting because it says here, more prominent role working with Kenny Pickett. I actually think, so Canada will continue calling plays, but also be working directly with Pickett, right? I think this might be a way to say that if this doesn't work out for this year, the next 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, if nothing works out in the next 3 months, there could be a way the Steelers say, you know what, we've tried everything. We have tried everything with Canada, with Kenny Pickett. Maybe they would be then to move on from Canada, right? But the Steelers don't normally do stuff like that. They just don't do stuff like that. This could be a sneaky way to make Matt Canada the quarterback's coach again. You make him the quarterback's coach, and he can still call plays. But then next year, they go and get a new offensive coach. But I overly don't know what this means. Canada calls plays, but it's still working directly with Kenny Pickett. But I do like, and I do want to finish on what Neil said here too, which makes a lot of sense to me. So there's nowhere in the report did it say promotion. So it's not a promotion. It's just a rumor or a report saying he's going to be working more directly with Kenny Pickett. But in reality too, he should be working with Kenny Pickett every day. That's their job, is to get the offense firing on all cylinders, firing and going crazy and scoring 70 points like the Dolphins. So he should be working with Kenny Pickett every day. And basically the last point too. Number 2, work more closely with the quarterback could mean very well you created the train wreck. Now get out of this at ground level. Anyways, that's it. I'll see you guys later on today for Steelers versus Raiders because it has been a wild day. The Ravens lost, and the Dolphins game was 70-20. And now we have this Matt Canada news. All I can hope for is that Matt Canada, the offense, Kenny Pickett, they go and score points and they quiet the noise. I'll see you later.